Hi guys, and welcome back to my kitchen again. It's time for another edition of What's Cooking with Nancy. Today we are going to try something that I have seen popping up everywhere. It seems to be on YouTube, it's in my Facebook feed, it's popping up everywhere. And frankly, I just wanted to know if it was worth the hype. And I don't know if you guys may have seen it or not, but it is a recipe from a very old cookbook, I believe, released by Five Roses Flour in 1932, and it's called Peanut Butter Bread. Now, everybody, of course, now that we're in a pandemic situation, we're supposed to be staying at home, and some baking supplies are a little scarce. People are baking stuff at home that you can't find in the grocery stores. But also, like I said, some supplies are scarce. You can't always get yeast. Well, this is great because it doesn't require yeast. It requires only a very few simple ingredients. And a very little bit of time, and I just want to know what the big deal is with this bread. So we're going to make it today, and we're going to see if it lives up to the internet hype. And if it is good, then boy, do I have plans for this bread. I can think of a million different ways to jack this bread up. So you may have to stay tuned and see about that anyway. So welcome to my kitchen. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk about ingredients and things that we need in the way of equipment and supplies. So I have a glass loaf pan here, and I've got some Pam cooking spray. I'm going to give my loaf pan a spray, but just use butter or whatever you would do to facilitate easy release from whatever pan you are using. So over here in our bowl, we have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, which I've already measured out there. We've got some white milk, peanut butter, some baking soda, some white sugar, and some salt. So let's see how we make this whole thing come together, and then we'll get it into the oven and we'll see what the finished product is like. Okay guys, so first things first, full disclosure, I know that in just about every cooking thing that I do, I'm cut off, but when I am filming these things, I don't often have somebody available to help me, and I try and take advantage of having someone when I do have someone, but I'm working on trying to find ways that you can actually see my whole face and not cut off the top of my head, or so that I'm not just a disembodied torso talking to you or at you. So that's this weekend's project. That is not a project for right now. So also, full disclosure, so this recipe, again, not my creation. It's just something I've seen popping up, and it's everywhere. There's a lot of different versions of it, I think. But what I'm going to try and do when I post this to Facebook and to YouTube, I'm going to try and link to the website that I sort of went from, which I think was Delish, something like that. So watch for the link down in the bottom if you are interested, but I will be giving you the full recipe here as we go along. So oven is at 325. That's the one thing about this bread, is it has to have quite a long time in the oven. It's going to need a full hour at 325. So let's start out by just giving a little spritz of cooking spray to our glass loaf pan. We are going to take our 2 cups of all-purpose flour that we have here. To that, I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I know that's a lot, but we are following the original recipe. It also calls for 1/4 cup of white sugar, so not a lot, which I kind of like. We are also going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of just plain white table salt. Now, milk, 1 1/3 cups. So, actually, you know what? Let me just get I think I'll put my peanut butter in first, okay? 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Now, a lot of people I've seen online are using crunchy. I didn't have crunchy. In my house, it's light peanut butter, and so that's what we're using today. Hopefully, it doesn't adversely affect the outcome. And actually, I gotta say, I'm sort of surprised that there's not more peanut butter in this recipe. It doesn't seem like a lot, but we'll see. Now my milk. So I've got 1 cup here, and then I'm going to add a further 1/3 cup as per the recipe. This is really cool though, because no eggs, no yeast, no starter to fuss around with. Here's my 1 1/3 cups, and that's it. That's all. Let me just give this a mix. can see where it's going to take a bit to get everything fully incorporated. There we go, we're starting to get there. You know, you're starting to make some progress when you don't see any more of those you know, dry bits on the bottom of your bowl. And also when you see your dough batter, I guess for lack of a better word, your dough starting to take on the color of that beautiful peanut butter that's in there. So I am not using crunchy peanut butter, so I want to make sure that my batter is as lump-free as possible. I guess maybe I should have sifted my flour. Just didn't think about it, to be honest with you. Okay, that's looking pretty respectable. Still a few little lumps. We'll just kind of use our paddle spoon here and mash it up against the side of the bowl to try and get rid of that as much as possible. So here's what you're looking at. It's a pale kind of golden beige color. It smells really good, guys. Even right now, it smells really good. This is gonna be so bad. This is so bad. I am on Weight Watchers. I don't know why I do these things to myself, but I just had to see. Everyone's yakking about this bread. All right. Scrape the goodness off my spoon. And then with a spatula into my loaf pan, it will go. I mean, this one actually seems even easier than my cranberry chocolate bread that I put on here not all that long ago. This is fantastic. If this works as well as I think it's going to work, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all. So actually, this bad boy just needs 1 hour. 1 hour in a 325 oven. And I will be back to show you how it looks when it comes out, and then you can be darn sure you will be here for the taste test as well. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so there you have it. Fresh out of the oven, still warm, and getting the thumbs up. It smells delicious. It's baked up nice and puffy and golden, and the only thing left to do is taste it. Okay, so here's our completed peanut butter bread, and I can tell you it's not an overwhelming peanut butter taste. It's a tiny bit salty. I think I would cut back on the salt from the recipe just a little bit, but it's moist and it's dense and it really is delicious, and I can think of several ways that I would improve on this recipe if I was going for. I might try making one with banana. I also think it would be to die for if you fried up several strips of bacon and crumbled bacon into the batter. I think that would be amazing. But it is really good. It's simple and it came together very, very fast. It only took an hour to bake it in the oven. It is delicious. So the verdict is thumbs up, worth the hype. Try it during the pandemic. No yeast, few simple ingredients. Good to go. Thanks for tuning in, you guys, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.